what I'm doing here is very different from what I feel a lot of people are doing that do make critical videos.
When put, this screams, I should be the only meta flipper that should be getting praised in the Zenless Zone Zero community because I'm the only one being too critical in the Zenless Zone Zero community. That it's so weird, man. Just stop. Just stop. No one likes that slime stuff anymore. Just stop it. I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gents. I wasn't planning to make a video today, and the reason why is simple. I have to admit, I'm not really doing the best. I'm not. I'm gonna have to take a bit of an L on that one. And I was sitting in bed, and I was thinking about it. If you'd allow me, it's just a small little discovery could help you guys too, because I like to throw some of these life lessons from time to time in my content. Moving on with your life from failures and disappointments, which was the case for me in my recent years, you start doing it, and it's unbelievable how much strength you realize you have, and that for a huge portion of what you're facing, you think like you can't do it, but you really can. You just never really put yourself to the test, and when you do, it's like you just push yourself, you overcome the fear of disappointment again, you really find yourself doing a lot. And so I was in a decent place. I was stressing and everything, but that comes with the job, right? And recently, like many of you guys know, I did a trip to visit family and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, a huge part of my disappointment and really that really shattered me as a person was a family. Yeah, dysfunctional families can do that to you, sadly. A lot of people know what I'm talking about. And so I looked back. I decided I was going forward. You know, I was doing my thing. I think life was. I was making it. Considering what I have, I was doing the best I can, right? And I looked back. I decided to visit again, etc. And just seeing the failures again, man, that hurt. And especially when you see that because you failed, some people got affected because of mistakes you've made. Oh man, that'll mess with you. That'll mess you, and it's messing with me hard, bro. And also, I realized that a lot of the times we get disappointed because of expectation. That's I think they go hand in hand. Now, expectation is important because it keeps you hype, it keeps you excited. It's a very important component to what makes us get up every day. But you have to manage those. They cannot be at a certain level where they really, really ruin you and paralyze you if they are not met. And that's a character flaw I've noticed within myself that I'm working hard on even right now. And what really made me get up and start recording, because you'll notice I typically record early. This is not late, and typically I don't like to record late anymore because my lighting isn't the best, as you can see. But I had to get up and do it anyway because someone in the comments said, "Hey, yo, you should react to this video." And this is where my people pleaser part came in, and it overcame all that darkness I was in, and I got up and started working, which was very much so needed. So shouts out to the commenter. Shouts out to my man Justin. I appreciate you, Justin. You today have saved me. I lie to you, I'm not. You saved me from a dark place I was just sitting in bed in. You just saved me, man. Got me up to the light and do what I love. I really appreciate that. Appreciate each and every single one of you showing support. You guys don't know how much that means to me, just how far that support goes for me.
I love you guys.
You're old.
Yeah, screw you guys.
I know that's a bit of a tangent, but we're sharing. Can a man share? It'd be nice if a man could share, for crying out loud. And so anyway, what about the video? What the hell's going on? Well, apparently they think it's the Zenless Zone Zero community. I'm assuming because of the hashtags here. Vladimir is a disgusting human being. Now, I think they mispronounced Vladimir. I think this is like the Japanese. If someone Japanese is trying to say Vladimir, because, you know, the Japanese, they pronounce V as a B. Bui, I think is how they pronounce V. So, like, if I were to, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm V. They're going to be like, Bui? Bui, son? Bui, sama. That's me, man. That's me. And so apparently this guy over here is a disgusting human being. I don't know why. What is it? Because he has a Kirby plushie? We know that man Mizkif is that this is the stuff of Nightmare to Mizkif. Maybe that's why. So yeah, I wonder why people don't watch you, buddy. So I think this is a hard call out, and considering the hashtags, it's the Zenless Zone Zero community. Now this is a community that I like. I'm not gonna lie, I like the Zenless Zone Zero community. I think they're pretty chill. Right next to the HSR one, Genshin is cool too, but they have more volatile people over there. But one thing I did notice that all of them, even the WoW community has, is just don't come in with bad intentions. Come in with like genuine good faith critiques, and you'll be welcomed with open arms. You come in swinging, you're gonna see them. I think the gacha community is fair in that regard, if you ask me personally. But anyway, apparently this man is a disgusting human being, and we're about to find out why, because I have no idea what the heck is going on. So without further ado, let's get active. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to not miss any updates.
I guess I better go subscribe to VXV Gacha.
I do not want to be a source of negativity, right? A lot of gacha developers are pedophiles.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What? We just spawned. We just got here. What is it? Okay, so that's what we're doing, huh? Okay. This is a very uncomfortable topic. I do not like this topic at all. I just, it's very weird. Anyway, it's not how we wanted us to get active. I'm not gonna lie.
What I'm doing here is very different from what I feel a lot of people are doing that do make critical videos. Everybody that plays this game is a blatant pedophile. But again,
wait, what? That's the character he was talking about? This is the problem with this topic, is that it's not necessarily about the number that the devs are trying to, or the artist is trying to slap on the character to make them feel more real, because I think characters now have ages, birthdays too, to make them feel more real to people that relate to those characters. The reality is most people, I feel like, just using the gaze, it's typically the body type. When I see this, this is a grown woman. This doesn't scream teenager. Teenagers do not look like this. This is just a blatant grown woman. It is. She happened to be on the shorter side. I think she looks short to me. Maybe that's just me. That's it. And the smaller they are, petites, people can tend, especially when, they don't have like much grown things about their design, you typically associate them with teenagers, and lollies are very obvious. So besides lollies, in my opinion, teenagers, like petite type characters, like those are nuanced and up for debate. Like besides lollies, I don't think you can just use that word at people that enjoy body type characters like these, regardless of what the dev is trying to say or the artist is trying to say their age, because this could be 1,000 years old. Like we've seen characters like these are like 1,000 years old. It's like, okay, make it make sense. Why is Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in Part 3 like 17? You do not look 17. You look at least 30 to 40. Like, I'm sorry. But yeah, there's kind of like the universe of anime. Anime, when it comes to age, it doesn't make much sense. Like when someone is trying to sell me the idea that a lolly character is like 1,000 years old, so like everything's fine, that's not fine. Like I'm sorry. I think ultimately it's a matter of innocence. It's a matter of body type, but mainly innocence, that a lot of people are just gonna call out if someone is attracted to that innocence for the wrong reasons, of course. So yeah, I think that's the main focus to just solve that topic in my head, because the problem with this damn topic is it's incredibly nuanced due to how certain norms are okay in certain parts of the world, and they're not okay in certain parts of the world, because the age of consent is different depending on where you are, and this is why it makes this topic so frustrating. There's no universal age of consent, but one thing all countries and every culture can agree on: teenagers are this weird gray area, but children are always off limits. And looking at what we're looking at here, this is obviously not a child at all. This doesn't fit the criteria at all. So yeah, just that's how I managed to solve this problem for me. Because I'm not gonna lie, this used to trigger me too. It made me feel weird. But also, there was a bit of dosage of maybe attempting at grandstanding, because at the time it was cancel culture and stuff like that. So it's like there was this normalization of trying to find anything to, especially stuff like this, to like call out and stuff like that, because like it makes you look good online. I think there was a bit of that in my behavior too, looking back on it and judging myself in hindsight. So yeah, I think as long as one just recognizes exactly what's what, and this, especially body types like these are very, very nuanced. It doesn't matter. Like, bros, I don't even want to touch this topic more than we should, but here we are. In my opinion, people also should not be touching this topic more than they should. It's so weird. It's very uncomfortable. Yeah, yo, Justin, what kind of video is this, man? This is what you got your boy looking at, man. God damn, it's very uncomfortable.
But again, a lot of people take these things personally. You deserve to die, and that is not a...
This is the wrong character. This is the wrong character. If it was a lolly, sure, that's the wrong character.
You should never be around children, and I hope you don't have kids of your own or younger siblings, because I do not trust you around children. You deserve to be in jail.
See, this is what I was talking about when it comes off grandstandy and virtue signaling in a way. It's like you're right, but due to the nuance of how things look like, it makes you not so right. And considering anime culture, a lot of people are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? So, yeah. Again, like I keep saying, this is a weird topic. Like, you know what I mean? It's a very gray area that I personally hate.
Around children. You deserve to be in jail. I don't feel like people really want me to make these videos. I hope a truck runs you over and slowly drags you across the concrete so that you feel your...
So they don't want you to make videos calling out PDFs or making zenless Zone Zero critique videos. Which one is it?
I hope a truck runs you over and slowly drags you across the concrete so that you feel your body rip apart as you draw your final, pitiful, worthless breath. The actual...
Damn, gang. She has big stuff. And she's wearing skimpy stuff. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, this is a grown-ass woman. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, this is not how teenagers come. Like, that's not how teenagers work. Like, what are we talking about?
Okay, let's dive into this one. Vladimir is a zenless Zone Zero creator who recently put out a rant video titled, I hate Zenless, why do I still play it? This video was not well received and is floating around a mixed reception at best, and mostly negative at worst. Here's the gist of the video. Vladimir claims that the gacha community do not like criticism of their games simply on the basis of them being criticisms. He considers his critique...
I think what he means is if people detect that you're coming in bad faith, they will not necessarily listen to what you have to sell. They're just going to ignore you directly and come at you directly. Like they don't care at that point.
To be a cut above the average critique video in the gacha space, he believes that his primary audience are those who don't actively play zenless Zone Zero, while actual fans do not support his content because of sunk cost fallacy and feelings of being personally attacked. And
sure, yeah, if you don't voice it like that, yeah, it can come off like that, sure.
And Vladimir is struggling to decide where to take the future of his channel. As someone who's also a primarily ZZZ creator with a focus on critique and critical analysis, I wanted to throw my hat into the ring for this one. And yes, I will be addressing that later, so please be patient. Let's begin by addressing the impression that Vladimir does not like Zenless. First, if you go now and sort his YouTube uploads by most popular, you will notice that a majority of his top videos are exclusively about the negatives of specific gacha games, with Zenless content making up a huge chunk of that, and the few videos of ZZZ that would be considered positive are presented as if the game is only finally starting to get good after a period of shortcomings and failures. This is important to establish because the general consensus that online communities will have about a creator will be influenced by the content that reaches the most people, either through word of mouth and of course their most viewed videos.
He's totally right. You will always be known for that viral moment and not necessarily for what you consistently do. You can build 100 bridges and you steal once, you rob a bank once, you're a robber. You're a bank robber. Yeah. Some things just are so shocking to society. They're just gonna you're going to become the shocking thing and not necessarily what you've been doing consistently. So yeah, viral moments on the internet act the same way.
Second, Vladimir's video output is extremely low and offers little to none of any variety beyond critique content. No casual videos, no endgame clears, no polling videos, no account reviews, no live streams, nothing. If all people can see of
Not everybody has the time to stream nor the space to stream. So, you know, maybe there's just a debuff there. We don't know.
you are nothing but criticisms of the game, then it's inevitable that are nothing but streams, nothing. If all people can see of you are nothing but criticisms of the game, then it's inevitable that people will call into question your actual interest in ZZZ.
He makes a good point here. If all you do is critique, people are going to look at you and go, well, if all you do is critiquing, it's like, why are you still here? And I think this is the best time to talk about the dosage of things, because I feel like you have to balance the good and the bad. Because I feel like this is where everybody, or at least majorly speaking, everybody may be this is a strong term, especially now on the internet. Majorly speaking, I think it's safe to say that majorly speaking, a lot of people want to talk about the good, what they're passionate about, excited, hype, right? It's important. That's why we mainly play these games, but also with a good dosage of criticism to the things that we don't necessarily agree with when it comes to dev practices, or are the existing issues within the game that we find annoying, that kind of take away some of the fun we found. I think a good balance between the two is the sweet spot you want to reach. I'm not gonna lie, ever since I started doing that, my channel has improved drastically in terms of community. It did. And the quality of the community is insanely important. It's very important. That's something I learned the hard way. So back in the day, because I'll be honest, I used to be pissed off at Genshin Impact. A lot of people were. Maybe you weren't because you're cold like that. You swear you cold. But for a lot of people, we were very upset at Genshin Impact disappointing us when, around the end of the Fontaine arc. And a lot of people were like critiquing and hate videos on Genshin were so on the rise. And we've seen that recently around Snezhnaya's release. You've seen that too, around the candy bug stuff, etc. We had a lot of I quit Genshin videos, and they were very, very well received by the community because that was the general consensus at the time. But here's one thing I learned through this sentiment in the Genshin space. That's just a momentary phase, because people are still emotional, but the moment we pass that phase, people wake up to the realization of stuff is not too serious. I just gotta keep doing and using the game as it's supposed to be used. It's a casual game. I do not have to go this insano about it, because I feel like this degree of passion towards it will just make me disappointed. It's like what I said at the start of the video. Expectations are very important. If you overdose on that, you're just hurting yourself. So I think a lot of people do the same thing in gacha too. I'm glad to, we just set that up at the start, and it ended up, it's like we foretold the future. Yeah, damn.
And the fact that this rant video has Vladimir coming off as someone who feels his channel is trapped in ZZZ doesn't help either. Lastly, Vladimir's...
Why would he be trapped in ZZZ? Like, just talk about different stuff. Like, what was the problem? Like, who cares? I used to lock myself to just Genshin 2. But then Wuthering Waves came out. My views didn't do too well because like it's a new game and everything, and everybody's on the race to get into the algorithm and stuff. But I still did it because I knew I was going to be playing the game and covering the game. So you just do you. And one thing also that's very important, views matter a lot, and clout matters a lot when you're a CC especially. But it's not everything. It's really not everything. And I also recognize that being a big CC is something that may or may not happen. I'm not sure if it will. If it does, great. If not, hey, what's most important is that I appreciate what I got, and to have fun and grow as an individual through the things that I have. I don't think it's a hard sell. I think it's a very positive way to go about it, if you ask me, but could be way off base. I don't think I am, though.
Channel appearance has nothing that suggests he has an interest in ZZZ. The banner and more info section give nothing for the viewer to go off of, and his profile picture originates from a character in the
God damn! Jesus! How do you look at this and still want to go outside and meet with 3D girls? Man, screw these 3D girls. Oh God, I'm sticking with my to the Destiny anime baddie from now on. I'm straight up good, Maxon. It has child in here, but I want the game is called Destiny Child, I think. Considering the start of the video, I don't think I wanted to include the term child in the trying to make a joke, but I don't think I wanted to include that particular part on it. Considering how the start of the video has poisoned the well for jokes like that, or for even terms like that being present in jokes like that. This was a quick reminder for anybody that may have forgot about Professor Pokey's class about fallacies in the art of gacha war.
Korean gacha game, Destiny Child. He doesn't even have any social media accounts either that could act as a secondary means to present his love for ZZZ. Now let's compare that to other critique-focused creators in the ZZZ space. Yojimbo Blade covers a variety of topics within Zenless as well as occasionally livestreaming the game, and his own avatar is literally a recolor of Billy Kid. Dwarf Rance's critique content covers a wider range of subjects in a smaller total video count, and his channel info section specifies his passion for the game.
Okay.
Blue Panda has a niche within the furry subsection of the gacha community, and has a variety of ZZZ content that isn't just critiques of the game. He also livestreams on occasion. Even myself—
Do people read those? I know Saint Tontes one, he has like, I make cool videos. That's it. I just make cool videos, man. It's like, yeah, that's it. Like, I don't have to give you my bio. This isn't a dating site. I didn't even make mine. My editor made mine. He just called me local unk gacha referee. He just gave me the title gacha referee, which I would argue is spot on.
Someone with a history of critiquing Zenless has a variety of content for the game, live streams, and of course, my channel banner has Ellen Joe written all over it. I don't blame anyone who has a negative impression of Vladimir as a Zenless creator, because Vladimir himself has failed to present his channel as someone with an interest in Zenless. At best, he's a variety creator that just so happened to land on ZZZ and comes off as if he's always 1 foot out of the door. Next—
Fair enough. I think that's a fair call out for sure. I think the reason why he does this is the fear of losing the dopamine that comes with getting the numbers you're used to on screen. I think I know exactly what Vladimir is going through. I think this is something a lot of CCs that want to expand more on just the one thing that they know works. There's this fear of, if I start doing this other thing, oh, my videos are just not going to be doing very well. That's kind of the challenge. You just gotta give it your best shot, man. That's it. Because in the end, this is why I said before, and I'll say it again, as long as you're having fun, as long as you're doing what you're passionate about, numbers become this extra thing. Like when I see green stuff and there's like, wow, 1 out of 10. I'm like, God damn, wow. I guess we got ourselves a good day today. God damn. But that's it. That's it. The reality is, I don't know what will exactly hit or not. I know that I just do my best as much as I can on the video I make. And if it takes off, it takes off. If a lot of people resonate with it, they do. If not, oh well. I still had a lot of fun making it. I still made sure that the audience that comes back to me got good quality content, and that's it. I like to be of service. A lot of guys, especially a lot of brothers, know exactly what I'm talking about. We like to be useful. I like to be of service, and I think through these videos I can be a small part in one's life of me being in service to you. That's it. And I feel like this mindset can be very helpful to someone like Vladimir here, because sometimes it's not about you, and being in society means you have to be useful to society, not always to just yourself. Really, you have to have a good degree of selflessness, and people can detect when you're being selfish. People can detect that.
Next up, we need to talk about his most popular video.
Especially, I've noticed for small CCs. I think for big CCs, a lot of people can get blind because, well, they got that lucky big break, right? And a lot of people are starstruck by that. And so they have an easier time, just grabbing people's attention because they're exceptional. They are part of the exceptional few. They get to navigate content creation in a different way. It may seem easier, but I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it offers new challenges unseen from what I could see sometimes from big CCs I've interacted with. Now, what I did notice is that for small CCs, however, this is not as easy because people are more picky for who they choose as their small CC. I did notice that a lot, which surprisingly is interesting because I feel like this is exactly what we need as small CCs to improve on our craft. See how it's funny like that? It's pretty cool, huh?
The decline of ZZZ character designs, and how he perceives his own content. In this rant, he repeatedly refers to his character design video as coming from a place of objectivity over subjective opinions.
By critically analyzing the character designs and just objectively looking at them for what they are, I found them lacking for various reasons. I wanted to look at those character designs critically, share my findings objectively, and again, I didn't do that because I wanted to spread hate. I did that because I wanted to share my thoughts and objectively look at it. And I found season 2 character designs lacking, you know?
Throughout this same rant,
yeah, this doesn't make much sense. This is a good call out from Aricado. If you want to be objective, you have to gather the general consensus, compare them to other communities. Maybe if you want to be more thorough, give more examples, and then you share your subjective opinion. Because the way he framed it here, it sounds more subjective than objective. Because even if I'm being objective, it's still not enough of a sample for many when you're trying to frame like the entire community as being, or like try to frame the entire design, which is a subjective matter, as like an objective thing. No, you're gonna need more samples. Like you're just one person, it's not enough of a sample. You need a lot more people. You need to find a lot more comments on what people think about that, find the general consensus about those designs, and then you share that. And after you do that, you can share your subjective one. That's it. It's that simple. But you can try, of course, objectively, it's this. But if you ask me personally, here you go. Like we have that ability, but it just one person when you're trying to frame it again, it's about design and not necessarily a feeling or something like that. I feel like it's more tricky considering what you're trying to be objective towards, considering the topic at hand. I hope I'm making some sense.
He proceeds to put his own critique content on a pedestal as something that is better than the average critique content in the zenless space.
But again, a lot of people take these things personally, and it creates this environment where criticism, like real criticism, is not welcome. Because I have seen a lot of videos from other people that are criticizing gacha games. They're very surface level. And I'm not saying I make the best.
Well, the reason why they are is because people recognize, that's just the smart thing to do. People recognize, if I were to do this without having proper mannerism and making sure that people understand that I'm not coming from a place of bad faith, because a lot of the people in the community have been conditioned through gacha tribalism to be on the defensive, and they are very sensitive to bad faith criticism. And if they are to see you're coming in bad faith, they're not going to necessarily care about what you have to say at that point. They're just going to destroy you. They don't care. Like, we don't want to hear it. So in order for you to get your point across, you're going to have to navigate that sensitivity that is created through the gacha tribalism. That's just navigating the space the proper way. I think that's just smart. Like, what you're trying to undermine people with is actually a positive. So you're just also like the pause. Like, I apologize, Vladimir, I apologize for this pause frame. It makes you look as crazy as the statements you're trying to say here, man.
As critical videos about gacha games. Obviously, like, no, I don't. But what I'm doing here is very different from what I feel a lot of people are doing that do make critical videos.
When put,
this screams, I should be the only meta flipper that should be getting praised in the Zenless Zone Zero community because I'm the only one being too critical in the Zenless Zone Zero community. It's so weird, man. Just stop. Just stop. No one likes that slime stuff anymore. Just stop it.
In the context that his character design video is Vladimir's most successful content on his channel, he's positioning himself to be someone whose opinions and critiques should be regarded as more important and more valuable to the zenless space than the opinions and critiques of others. And
fair enough. I think we can all see why he would think that. Yeah, numbers, it's data. You can look at that and go, well, obviously, looking at the numbers, I think maybe, yeah. So, yeah, I can see why he would think that. Not saying he's right, but I can see where he would think that. Yeah, makes sense.
And by following this line of logic that he's presenting, the zenless space is worse off because they do not support him for reasons of sunk cost fallacy and perceived personal attacks. This is the exact
Sunk cost fallacy and perceived personal attacks. Yeah, if you do not frame yourself properly, yes, like I said, through the gacha tribalism, people are sensitive. Yes, that's a thing you're gonna have to navigate, buddy boy. If you do not do it correctly, the gacha space will not be listening to you. And sunk cost fallacy, so like what? I invested too much in the game, so like that's why I'm not gonna like what you have to say about it. No, it's not always the case. I would say perceived personal attacks is what people typically respond the worst to, because they associate because they're attacking the hobby, right? That's how the people they're gonna see it. And so yeah, it's like it's very easy to relate to the hobbies they do, because it's like it's part of your character in a way.
that kind of person.
So people can get easily very defensive when it comes to criticism that comes from a place of bad faith towards stuff like that in their life. So yeah, I mean, I understand it. I do.
I was referring to in my previous video discussing the rise of the Season 1 Puritans within the zenless space. They're not interested in letting the game experiment with its future characters, even if it comes at the cost of not appealing to certain target audiences. They're not willing to simply skip these characters and either save for someone that does appeal to them or reinvest in their established favorites. Their only goal is to push their own ideas as the only ones worth listening to, and give
Ooh, more slime stuff. Okay.
the success, and most importantly, the date of Vladimir's video, he was a massive contributing factor in laying the foundation for the arrogant, self-serving agenda pushing that we see today from Season 1 Puritans.
Okay, I don't know what Season 1 Puritans is. I think this is like some zenless on zero stuff. But I see what Arakato is trying to say through this. Basically, what he's saying is you got like this huge blowout video, and now you think your farts don't smell. Like you think you're higher than thou. It's not the best look. Not the best look. Especially in a space about video games that sell anime girls. So it's just we're kind of in loserville here, buddy boy. It's like stop all that slime stuff.
And of course, because this is his most successful video, his perspective of speaking objectively on any subject has trickled down into every single critique video that's come after that. Hence why he puts the blame on his video's poor reception on being the fault of the ZZZ community and not the fault of himself.
YouTube subtitles. When he said the ZZZ community, he typed Zexy community. Oh man.
Hence why he puts the blame on his video's poor reception on being the fault of the ZZZ community and not the fault of himself. And with that...
Oh, that's a very, very good topic here real quick. A lot of the times people are going to find reasons as to why they're not getting the results they want and never look at themselves, because it's very hard to look within. That's the hardest thing to do. It is. And it's easy for people to do this. This is what you typically are going to see. And I'm not surprised Vladimir is doing that. This is a very normal human thing. Now, of course, the key is to recognize that. And of course, that's why it's important to have friends to call you out, because, you know, they get to see you from a third person perspective and call out exactly what's what. And that's very important, because a lot of the times you cannot see the wrongs you're doing. And also, I love this line. Doing stuff alone only embeds your errors. It's like if you're making a mistake, you're just going to keep learning how to do that mistake better. You know what I mean? It's like you need to make sure you're not totally alone, where there's at least some degree of call out and criticism to make sure you're in the right path and you're putting the practice and time into the right direction. That's very important. There's also this beautiful quote: the compass was invented before the clock, because back in the day, people didn't necessarily care about how long something took. What mattered is that they were going in the right direction. You're gonna get there is the most important part. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Well, of course it matters, but you know what I mean. It's like I would rather, if I had to choose one, I would rather get there as fast as possible and be in the right direction and get there as fast as possible. That would be best, right? I mean, But if considering how life works and only the exceptional few get to have that, as a normal individual, I would prefer to at least be in the right direction instead of, oh, let me get there as fast as possible, but I'm just lost. Now I didn't even get to the right place. Well, here we go again, I guess. And that will suck. So, yeah, I think all in all, it's very important to just make sure you are having people that call you out and give you constructive criticism. Even if people hate you or coming at you from a place of hate, there's always criticism to be drawn from that. And I feel like as long as you're optimistic in how you receive criticism and you take your ego out of it and you use that to your advantage, you can really grow as a person. That's what I did. I think a lot of people can see how I've grown as a creator, especially in the recent year, because I've implemented a lot of what I'm preaching right now. That's why I managed to do what I did. It's not easy. It's really not easy. But I think it's a very important thing we need to have as individuals, a skill that you need to have. Because, well, I'm sorry to inform you, or maybe I'm reminding you, life is not easy for most of us. Life is not easy. And even for the people that we think got it all together and stuff, I'm pretty darn sure in other levels of life, there's challenges still. Because life is not made to be comfortable. It's supposed to be as uncomfortable as it can be. And we have to try and find our comfort in that as much as we can, because we seek comfort, obviously. So, yeah, just a little... There's a little something here too, man. Just, I like that stuff. I like to unkid out from time to time.
It's time we now address the elephant.
Uh-oh.
The highlight reel for the intro is taken from an older video on Vladimir's channel.
This shit was 11 months ago. You went ahead and found an 11-month-old video? Jesus Christ. Why the hell do we have to deal with that then? I thought this was recent. So you went and dig up dirt on the guy from 11 months ago? Just to make him look more crazy? Jesus. I don't like this topic. It feels now completely unnecessary why we even talked about it. I thought that stuff was recent. Jesus, alright. That shit was free.
Titled The Lolly Problem. In this video, Vladimir would do the following. Categorically accuse the creators and consumers of multiple different gacha games and anime shows of pedophilia, with frequent calls to violence.
Yeah, I think, for example, the dragon girl thingy here, kinda. Yeah, kinda. But some others, like the ones that shown at the start, not really.
Against them. Contradict himself when calling Jafufu problematic for having petite body proportions despite having an adult age. Then
yeah, see, for example, for me, I just like to categorize these as teenagers, regardless of what they tell me how old she is. I think that's just a teen. It's like, no, not for me. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's like, I'm sorry, petite girls. It's tough for y'all out here. What do you want me to say?
Flips his arbitrary criteria when presenting adult proportioned Blue Archive characters as problematic when suddenly now their age matters, and repeatedly displays on screen the very content that he would have you.
Bro is like, this is CP, but then shows how to find it. You're not very smart, do you? Damn, that's too much CP you have there, buddy. Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
You arrested or even killed for, both in the video itself.
I think you should be arrested for sharing what you deem to be CSAM in that thumbnail. Damn. Claim drawings to be CSAM, which is illegal to share in post. Proceeds to use such materials. The thumbnail rules for D, but not for me. Is working overtime. God damn, the call outs. He changed the thumbnail and foul. Why did you have to be told not to put what you believe to be real CP in the thumbnail of this video and change it into something else? Yeah, just don't grandstand when you're also sometimes not too smart about certain things. It makes you look stupid.
And one of two possible thumbnails at the time of uploading. This is all coming from someone who considers himself a superior and objective voice in the gacha space when compared to others.
There it is. Yeah, that's the ultimate problem. The more you try to grandstand, the more your mistakes are more devastating to you as a person. Just be graceful. Just be modest. Just be humble. Very important.
And displaces any of his shortcomings and poor reception on anything and anyone but himself. To put it bluntly, it's disgusting. And
it's pathetic. I think that's the term you're really looking for. Disgusting? It's worse. We've seen worse. We know worse. It's pathetic. This comes off like an attempt from a very lost man trying to act like he's the shit And the way he's going about it makes him look so pathetic. That's it. That's what I think is more accurate, if you ask me.
Vladimir doesn't deserve your empathy, and most certainly not your sympathy. I only recently watched this video for the first time in preparation for this response, and
I bet you did, didn't you? You went ahead and dug that baby up and did your homework on it and just used that right off the bat to poison DUL and just assassinate his character, man. Just wow. Bro just went ahead and just destroyed his character on spawn.
after having done so, there's no doubt in my mind why the Zenless Zone Zero community, or even any...
You're gonna continue playing the game like a good little boy, though. If you actually believe any of this, then immediately stop playing any of the gacha that sexualize lolly characters such as FGO, ZZZ, or Wuwa. I don't think they do that. You want people to listen to your opinion, hold it in authority while telling them to die. Bravo. That makes a good point. And this is why I think, it's just me though, I think this comes off very performative and very grandstandy. And I think this stems from back in the day, like cancel culture and how you can easily farm points online by grandstanding on people. Especially when it comes to topics like these, it was very, very present. People were actually looking for things to call out stuff like this for, because it was, the thing to do at the time. And I remember even myself, in hindsight now, kind of participating in that stuff because I just didn't know better. Because I'm trying to understand how the internet works. Because obviously I'm still a bit of an unk still, and we're so back in the day. And so I found myself like getting mad over some things that are just incredibly gray that I wasn't aware of at the time due to my lack of knowledge. But after my knowledge of understanding that people were mostly interested in the body types and that's how they went about judging a character, it's fine. Now, there are some that are definitely weird, which are the lolly ones. Now, those I do not want to touch with a 10-foot pole. I think there's still a channel called Kabuki Ren. I'm pretty sure I've seen it a few weeks ago, maybe. I think that still exists. Now, that type of fanatic towards lolly characters is pretty disturbing. It's very disturbing. Like that's just not for me. I don't think it's okay. But YouTube apparently does think it's okay, so here we are. What do you want me to say? I don't know. I don't make the rules. It is what it is. Consider, because I think personally for certain body types, especially lolly ones, and like innocence, I think that has no business being sexualized at all. I don't think I don't think this is a brave take or anything. I think this is just the norm. Like whatever country you go in. The age of consent is obviously a great area for teenagers, but one thing I think all cultures can agree on is innocence and lolly as in children are off limits 100%. And so when we go after lollies, it's very strange. That's a topic I don't want to keep expanding on a lot because it's you can tell my discomfort, can't you?
There's no doubt in my mind why the Zenless Zone Zero community, or even any gacha and anime community for that matter, would want anything to do with Vladimir. He's not some voice of reason worth listening to that will steer gacha discussion in a positive direction. He's a professional victim who has repeatedly bitten the hand that feeds and thinks you're the problem. Let me make something...
That's spot on. Considering what we've seen from the man here in the presentation, that's very spot on. He could be off base, but maybe there's more to him than meets the eye. Who knows? Maybe this is a bad representation. So I'll just take what Arikado said here.
Clear to you directly, Vladimir.
Oh, is that Arikado? He's ulting. Arikado's ulting. Oh, snap. He's like, hey, watch this animation.
The ZZZ community is not the problem you think they are, and they are more than capable of managing themselves without the help of any one creator. Most certainly not you.
Well, you need Saint's own task apparently because he calls out the negatives a lot. So that way you guys can keep disliking his videos and stuff. Isn't that like what's going on? It's like he calls ZZZ stuff sometimes to a insane degree. I think he complained about 5 stars being free or something. That was so weird. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on over there, but I was like, I don't think I want to touch that one. It's like,
You have 3 options: stay your course, diversify your gacha content, or leave the space. I won't tell you which one I'd suggest, but after this video, I don't care either way.
just diversify your content. You clearly seem to be like a bird in a cage that wants to fly, or like a dog wanting to go for a walk. Just diversify your content. Don't be afraid of the, oh, I'm not gonna get as much views as I usually get from the content I'm used to doing, and I need that dopamine hate to feel better about myself. It's a very scary thing to get out of that comfort zone you built for yourself. You're gonna have to do it. It's very important. Growth happens to be, you get a lot more growth and XP after doing uncomfortable things more than you would doing comfortable things. I know life is funny like that.
If anyone here is suffering from sunk cost fallacy, it's you and your inability to change.
Damn. That's quite, that's a bit of sunk cost fallacy. I'm not gonna lie. That's spot on. I think that works. So yeah, there we are, man. I'm glad I sat down for this one. I did not expect this is what we're going to be going in here today, but I guess here we are. Again, the whole age thing in anime is super weird. I think body types makes the most sense, and certain body types, in my opinion, should not be at least mainly glorified. But if, again, like, you can't necessarily stop people from doing that, like, at least make sure you know, it's like, get out of my face. Because a lot of people like to use fiction. It's like, sure, that's fine. It's like, at least get out of my face. So, like, at least there's that. So, besides that, I think this could be a positive for Vladimir. I do. I think as long as you can take criticism and use it to your advantage, that's the best opportunity for you to grow as an individual, and even more so as a creator. So why don't you do just that? I think first, your ego is going to be very reactive, but I invite you to make sure to not let this hit you too hard and make you react negatively and aggressively, more specifically, towards this, and rather use this to your advantage to grow as an individual, as also, of course, as a creator. That's what I did a lot too. I've received a lot of criticism in the past. I think I've always received criticism the moment I spawned and started to have eyes on me. And I've always made sure I build and improve. And I think a lot of people, once again, can see the improvement I've made since they've discovered my content, or even me as a person. Because I feel like this is what life is all about. We're all in this journey of we grow as individuals, and that you're in this ongoing growth process until one day you pass on. And before you do that, you use all that XP you've gotten to pass it on to the next generation before dipping out of there. It feels like we're all with the quirk of One for All from My Hero Academia. We stockpile XP and power, give it to the next generation, and dip out. I feel like we're all having that quirk of the One for All, man. We're all heroes. We're all the Saikyo no Hero. That's us, man. Saikyo no Hero. So yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. Be seeing you.